I don't really care what I don't give a shit.
It is appreciated.
Just mind that one word that you don't want on there.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm so, well, I do. The thing is, part of me thinks it's a perfectly reasonable expectation. Dude, I cannot express my disappointment when I found out that level 4 was the maximum.
It really sucks though.
I know, because they don't want everyone to they don't want you to, I assume, experience the whole game before it's officially out.
Well, yeah, but the point that we just talked about is, okay, it's been in that way for 2 years. For those 2 years, you've gotten past the Mind Flare spaceship, and then you've gotten frustrated and deleted the game. Couple months later,
I got very far once.
Couple months later, you would install it again and try it again, and then the moment you get on there and you try the new Bard thing, you start liking the game, and now you can't play the goddamn thing.
I will say this as well. I did discover, leaning back into my personal preferences, I started a barbarian as well.
Okay.
Super fucking fun. Also, Totem Warrior is one of the specializations that you can choose.
It is. All right. Cool.
Yeah, so it's bullshit. It's amazing.
that is actually really cool. But that's one of the ones that you wanted.
Yes, it's difficult. There's just nothing as powerful for Barbarian specifically. And then I love Barbarian because it gives you an opportunity to act like a douche. I try to be a good Barbarian.
Well, Barbarians are douches, so
yeah,
it fits the profile.
I'm not. To be fair, I would say I'm less douchey. I'm just very aggressive. I'm not fucking around. I'm not trying anything. Oh, you know what?
What's up?
Is that correct? That can't be right.
Is what correct?
No, October 6th, 2020 is when it was put on Steam. That early access Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
And it is now October, whatever the fuck. We're sitting 2 years and 5 days over when it was released on Steam. Thank you. And man, I understand it, but it's also, I feel like this game is my best lesson I've ever gotten in my adult life of let's not blow money on things in early access.
Right.
Because I think I'm gonna get the game. I don't think they're gonna give up on it at this point.
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, I trust the studio to an extent. They've made some of my favorite games. But I would rather have just waited for them to put out a full game and been because basically what I've done here is I've paid $70 or $65, I think, and I'm just gonna. Now I'm sitting here I'll have a game in sometime in 2023.
Yeah.
Because that's the scheduled release date. They didn't even put a date. They just put a year.
I know. I've done that that fucking pre-order thing. I did that on I did the pre-order on the Final Fantasy VII remake, and then it was months before I had even actually gotten it. And by the time it came, I pre-ordered the game, and then by the time it came to actually pay for the game, I didn't have the money anymore. So the pre-order went away. Pre-order,
you reserved it.
Yeah.
For yourself? Okay.
And so all the options and all the extra shit that I was gonna get, it went away. And then I ended up going on and just ordering the game. And then nothing that I wanted was all the get this if you pay this, and no, it wasn't there.
All of it fucking gone.
Yeah.
Is 7 was that the MMO one? Or
No.
Was that one...
No. Final Fantasy 11 online was the MMO, and it sucked so much.
Really?
It was so bad.
Maybe there's another one that I'm thinking of. I feel like at some point I've heard good shit about a Final Fantasy MMO, but again, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think they're up. I think they're up at 18 now or some stupid shit. So
yeah, there's a hell of a.
Final Fantasy is the longest running video game franchise ever. It's literally fucking.
Mortal Kombat.
No, I'm talking about additions.
Okay, gotcha.
Final Fantasy 15, 16, 17, I'm not saying a franchise that exists. I'm saying they just keep going.
In terms of how many they put out?
Yes.
Gotcha, yeah, because they're still only at Mortal Kombat 11 was the last one.
It's the largest one fucking ever. It's Law and Order Special Victims Unit. They just won't stop.
I really do find it funny. And no shit, by the way.
They
Yeah,
just won't
absolutely.
stop.
Just go fucking forever. Even when you run out of ideas, just go forever. It is amazing it's funny to me to think about. Every once in a while I do think about the Mortal Kombat thing, and it occurs to me that like one of the first opportunities for gaming that people put into the world was the opportunity to rip each other to pieces.
Yes.
Like, sweet.
Which is like the perfect thing. Why
Yeah,
wouldn't you do that?
Such a great outlet.
Exactly.
I can kind of understand why idiots were like acting as if it increased violence for a while, because we did immediately go full violent with it, or at least pretty close.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically what Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter allowed you to do, either alone or with your friends, is bring out all of that inner animal instinct. And the more blood and gore, the better. That's what that did. But it also...
Good for frustration, too.
Yes. And it also, for the really dumb ones, yours truly included, encouraged you to do it for real.
Yeah.
You know, Mortal Kombat on a mattress, and then you're fucking the right above your right eyebrow is hitting the corner of a table.
I say, but the thing is, that's just a human thing. Like, there were kids, when I was a kid, half my family members would watch fucking WWE, and then they'd go to a hospital for slamming each other into a fucking bed frame.
Yeah.
It's like, kids are just dumb.
Yes.
Kids, when they see something cool, they want to fucking try it.
Yes.
And to be fair, that's not even dumb, that's just a young instinct. I'd say that's more wisdom than intelligence.
No, I think it's just dumb. Like, kids are just dumb. I don't.
Again, man,
Come on, let's not defend it or pull the curtain over it. It's just dumb.
Now we go by D&D rules, because this is the thing that I thought about the other day, because you have to save a harpy or a kid from being eaten by harpies in Baldur's Gate at one point. And the magic resistance is wisdom, not intelligence. And that's when it occurred to me, like, oh, yeah, so that's the very distinctive difference. You could probably have like a 7-year-old with 12 or 13 intelligence.
Yeah.
If they're a really smart kid. Their wisdom is going to be shit.
Yes,
because
they have
don't know
no
anything
experience
about the world, and they've never done things.
Yep.
So
wisdom is experience.
yes.
Yeah.
You gained the wisdom after you cracked yourself in reenacting Mortal Kombat.
Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I gained the wisdom of how painful it was.
Man.
And how not to do the move.
Man, I'll tell you. Sorry. Ooh, got a good one there.
That's free from me, by the way, because I don't care.
Thank you very much. Shit, man, I'm not gonna sit here and say no to you.
I know, you never do. I really don't care. So
I can't wait for the day that we come up with the technology that lets us, like, we need 100 to 1 time pods that we can get into that allow you to live an entire lifetime over the course of 1 year.
Nice.
And then you get out and you're like, all right, now everybody's wise as fuck.
Yeah.
Every single person has lived a full 100 years or like 20, depending on how dumb they were inside of the simulation.
No, I mean, like, that might be okay, but at the same time, okay, so here's a perfect example, and this is just from personal experience. I would not be able to wake up tomorrow and walk out of a pod and be like, oh, okay, I don't have kids now. Let's go live another life. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Shit, man, I got nothing. I'll get in the fucking pod.
You
I'd
could
get out of the goddamn pod and be like, wow, everything's the same.
But I wouldn't be able to do that. Like,
that is a good point.
Mentally, I wouldn't be able to handle it. Like, okay, I lived the full life. I watched them grow up. They got married, grandkids. I got old and I died. And then I step out of the pod as a 35-year-old man going, oh, shit. Where are my kids?
Well, to be fair, you wouldn't. You'd be like 20.
Yeah,
physically.
but still.
I do understand, and the trauma is a good point. You got also people who are like, they get really old and they're just ready to die.
Yeah.
And then they wake the fuck up. And they're like, man.
God damn it!
To be fair, though, I got to imagine if you got to like the 80s,
yeah,
or your 80s as a person, and then you woke up in your 20s, you'd be up and at it immediately.
Yeah.
You'd be ecstatic about that.
And the other thing, depending on what kind of life you lived in the simulation, it could be very bad.
It'd be like, what do you get? Ghost pain? Like
Well,
I worked
not
60 years. As
not
an iron
necessarily
worker, and
ghost.
then my back hurts in the real world.
Not necessarily ghost pain, but you're talking like 80 years, all those opportunities you missed, all that shit you wanted to do that you never did, and then you come out of the pod, and all of a sudden you're out there fucking everything that walks, because like you didn't get to.
Yeah, that's the good thing. Honestly, we would just double it. I feel like if we ever have that technology, what we'll probably end up doing is just not existing in the real world anymore. We'll just plug everybody up into the pods, and then the few people who manage the pods are going to be like gods on the real world. They run around, they do whatever they want.
Right.
And then everybody else is in their pod being a god somewhere.
Yeah.
Or just being an adventurer.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think if once one finished and I walked out of the pod as a 20-year-old and all of that was just a simulation, I'd probably just walk back into another one.
Yeah.
Because you got to imagine the moment you enter if you entered a second simulation, then you immediately forget about the first one. So I'd walk out and I'd be insanely depressed because now all my grown-up children and all my grandkids, they don't really exist. Mm-hmm. And I'm going, fuck this, and I walk into another one, and then all of that just disappears.
Well, the idea, you do like the perfect thing where it'd be much more difficult with kids.
Yeah.
But you just link everybody. It is an MMO. So all the people you know are real. You release at the same time.
Nice.
Or like you die and then you go up to the person in the simulation, you go up to the person managing it all. They check the computer. It's like, they've got like another 9.5 years. Their time, that's like a month.
Fuck.
So
I'm just going to chill. Is there a coffee shop around here?
Yes, we have a coffee shop pod in the back that you can climb into. It will feed coffee intravenously into your blood.
Just do that for the next 30 days, and then when they're done, let me out.
My God, you'd be fucking fully dependent on caffeine by halfway through it. Fuck. He doesn't actually have any blood left anymore. It's all just coffee.
It's all just coffee.
We fucked up. We linked the wrong bag one day. But man, I tell you what, if a vampire ever was one for Dunkin' Donuts coffee, they're gonna love this guy. It's gonna be the weirdest flavor combination we've ever had.
Oh my God, that's horrible. That's funny though.
What is your perspective on because I think frequently about, and I hear and see people on the internet a lot having the debate about whether this is a simulation. Speaking of things like a simulation, I for one don't think it. For one, I think it's interesting. I don't think it matters because we won't be able to break out. Yeah. If it is a simulation, but I'm curious.
I hope not.
I kind of hope not too. I think everyone, arguable. I think most people would hope not.
Yeah. I really hope not because that would just suck. Because if it's a simulation, if this isn't reality and it really is a simulation and it's some fucking 12-year-old on a video game controller or aliens hovering above the planet controlling our lives, the fact that they chose this life for me,
I just don't think
if I find out
yeah.
if I find out who's in the driver's seat for this fucking life and it ain't me.
Sometimes I think about the possibility, along that line. For one thing, you bring up, it's funny to think that it could be anything from a 12-year-old playing a video game to some grand overarching scheme. I would like to think that if it is an experiment, or if it is a simulation, it's an experiment by an entire greater society to see how they form things in different settings. But yeah, it could just be a fucking kid. This could be The Sims.
This could be The Sims.
Hyper advanced The Sims.
And the reason that little bastard has not put in the fucking cheat code to improve my life is irritating.
They don't want that though.
Give me the goddamn cheat code.
I understand it though, because I would not be good in a simulation like this. There's gotta be, you gotta intersperse shit. Try and be generally benevolent, but also it's hard to pay attention to everything that's going on at the same time. And
see, the fact that
everything being benevolent is boring.
The fact that we do movies and look, if this is an experiment and this is a fucking simulation, they could have either prior to or soon. Make it better. We have movies with magic and fairies and werewolf, like fucking let it
better to us.
Let it happen. Let it happen. If this is a simulation and this is a goddamn experiment, make it more exciting. Life is boring,
They don't
dude.
want it to be exciting. They want to see what happens.
Life
this
is
what
boring.
life is like for them.
Life is fucking boring.
Except it probably wouldn't be anymore.
No.
I assume they would also probably live in the 4th dimension or the 5th dimension.
Oh.
4-dimensional shit is very interesting to me. That's a tangent that I won't go.
But like the whole fact that we also have movies and video games, it reminds me of that thing that I told you, where I want to direct a movie about people making a movie about people making a movie.
Yeah,
and
to see how many layers you can get the studio to fund.
That kind of it reminds me of that. Where like no one really knows what the movie's about, and no one really knows who the actual stars are because there's like 8 layers of people making movies.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can't have a soda.
Okay, gotcha. I wasn't sure how many you had left. I still think the ultimate idea is the playing D&D with a fully sentient AI.
Right.
Just have it plug you into the Oculus shit. Thank you very much. Have it plug you into all of that, and then I would just walk and talk with it. And be like, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to spend 2 weeks. I'll be in here 4 hours a day. Every day we're going to talk about the world. We're going to world build together.
Nice.
And then I'm just going to walk through it and do shit.
Hell yeah.
And it could range anywhere from I'll have the AI walk with me that day and be like, I want to be a god today. I don't want to be a player.
Right.
I don't want anyone to notice me. I want to be able to just point at shit and make it happen.
That works.
And then other days I summon him at 6 a.m. and I go, listen, I want you to kick my ass for 6 hours. And then he disappears and I fight a couple of really hard fights.
Yes.
I'm disappointed. That
But like, does it hurt for real?
Oh, if we're going like technology that isn't possible, I've always been one for thinking it's not a good idea. It would have to be very strictly like watched and monitored.
Yeah.
And you'd have to have conditions for it. I would sign up to play full pain. I'd be down for it.
Yeah.
Especially if there's a way you can translate the pain to me without doing long-term damage. Fuck yeah, I'd beat my fucking ass. It'll just make me more pain tolerant.
Right.
And then I'll do it once and I'll change my mind and never do it again.
Exactly.
But I'd at least give it a go.
It'd be the mental trauma that they wouldn't really be able to control. The physical, yeah. The physical they could control all fucking day. Like, yeah, it hurts, but it doesn't really hurt. Like, as soon as you're done with the game, all the pain goes away. But it's the mental trauma they would not be able to control.
Well, the thing is, it's a big part of, like, that's why you're not putting yourself into a situation where you're going to be getting tortured.
Yeah.
Like, put limits on the AI. I mean, it's self-conscious, but just give the fucking thing a set of morals.
Yeah.
Just be like, all right, if someone asks you to stick them in an electric chair or something for 12 hours, you don't do that.
Yeah.
That's like one of the baselines. We don't do anything that actually qualifies as enhanced interrogation or worse.
Yes. Dude, can you imagine fucking literally walking through, like, not literally obviously, but the AI thing we're talking about, walking through the world of Kenshi?
Oh, fuck.
Dude.
What a crazy... That world is wild as fuck. I tried to get back into that again.
Yeah.
Fucking got like 3 hours in. Got some decent skills. Had one guy in the party, he got knocked out with a head injury, so he bled out.
Yeah.
And I hadn't saved for like an hour. So I just fucking stopped.
It'd
brutal.
be pretty badass though, just like you can be fucking kidnapped and brought like what I did, like
Yeah, just
deliberately getting kidnapped and brought to a fucking camp.
Mm-hmm. I assume that if the AI is running it, it's going to be somewhat better than like the accidentally leaving you on the ground 6 times on the way there.
Yeah.
That I believe happened, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
They just kept dropping you and then walking away from you.
Well, no, they didn't drop me. I hit a button that made me get on my feet.
Oh god.
Like they didn't accidentally drop me. I just moved, and I got down on my feet, and then I just stood there, and they walked away.
Yeah.
And then I took my own shackles off.
Yeah.
And then I ran up to them and was like, "Hey,
guys,
you forgot me."
Yeah, exactly. Fuck, man, what a game! That would be a hell of a one to walk through, and it's one of those ones that like it's got a really cool concept, and a cool background. But if I was doing that background thing, I would add so much to that fucking world.
Yeah.
Like, just make it. I've always been more of a fan if you're building an apocalypse setting. I prefer more than less. I understand the style of making everything very grim and very sparse, and it's a very survival game. I prefer shit like Fallout New Vegas, where it is just, we're past that grim shit.
Yeah.
In Fallout New Vegas, everyone has gotten back together. More or less, we've had like 60, 70 years to get relations built between factions again.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout New Vegas is a wild fucking game. It is just some rich guy from before the war has frozen himself in a coffin and has an AI that's him. It's not even an AI, it is actually him from the machine he controls it. But he controls Vegas, and he's got the casinos run. One's operated by a group of cannibals that are super fancy.
Mm-hmm.
One's operated by a bunch of mafia-style motherfuckers. And then the other is, I can't, like, ring-a-ding-ding people. The people with the striped suits and the fucking,
Yeah.
hey, baby.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers. And then, my favorite faction in the whole game, the Elvis impersonators. I'm pretty sure I told you about them
you told me
before.
that.
I love that.
Literally impersonate Elvis.
It's so funny to me because it is so sensible, because the lore is that they just found an Elvis impersonator building that was relatively intact with all the merchandise, and they were like, this must be a god.
This must be.
And then they just are like, this is clearly their version of Jesus Christ, so we're all just going to endeavor to be like our role model. And then so, what an actual reason for such a stupid fucking, like, if I was asleep and woke up to that, I would lose my shit. I'd probably get shot by them for laughing at their very serious traditions.
Yes.
Go in and speak to the leader of their faction, known as the King, every day, and it's a guy with the fucking Elvis hairdo and the white shirt. It's like, hey man, how you doing? You want my robot dog?
Like, are you fucking serious right now?
I fucking love that game, and it's a lot of, it's very packed full of shit.
Yeah.
It's a shame they'll never. I think the studio Obsidian still exists. They're the studio that made it, but went off on a gaming tangent.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Our conversations are never one.
Yeah, they flow.
They're
Pretty
never
well.
one-dimensional. They always end up.
They flow pretty smoothly from every topic, pretty much. At one point or another.
One thing gets said, and then it just skews off to a different thing, and then it skews back to another thing, and then it...
There we go. I think I'm finally good on this. I've got it now to where I can open and close it with one hand.
Nice.
I don't need to fiddle with it anymore.
Hell yeah.
I still think it's probably a murder knife, and I probably shouldn't have picked it up, but I'll worry about that later.
Will it open if you flick the wrist? Is it one of those?
No. No. This thing's got a safety on it, too. You can actually full on got a fucking switch so that it can't be popped out.
That's good.
Yeah, it is a little bit. Like, fuck, man. Why can't I just, you know what? Just cut the handle off. Just let me stick the blade in my pocket.
Right?
Come on.
Come on.
This is inconvenient.
Come on. Who needs safety? Oh, dear God.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, I've got a few interviews lined up. One for here at the house, which I think working at home is where things went wrong for me. I think that's where, like, I started getting very stagnant. Because it wasn't that it became boring, it's that, you know, now I'm home all the time, so my level of wanting to control everything around me grew exponentially. Like, I didn't leave the house for hours at a time and then come home and go, oh, that's new. Like, I was always fucking here.
Well, you're bad, you got into the micromanagement.
Yes,
bad.
very, very bad.
Well, especially also the thing is with the kids.
Yeah.
You got Johnny and Regina, but then you got Taylor and
Rihanna.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. I should not forget at this point.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, but you got the other two. They require your constant attention from somebody at least.
Yeah.
So you've always got your mind on that.
I mean, that, and I kept being told, you know, go work in the bedroom or go work out in the Florida room so that the kids don't bother you. And then the one time that I did, Johnny was out here cooking dinner, and the water was boiling, and the fork dropped into the boiling water, which Johnny knew. Leave it there.
Yeah.
Leave it there.
Absolutely.
When you're done, you'll pour it out. Who cares? It's not gonna ruin the food. Regina stuck her damn hand in the water.
Yeah.
And had to go to the hospital.
Hey man, there's her play with fire moment.
But that was the one time I was like, you know what? I should go out in the Florida room. Then I won't have to yell at them for being loud. And then that fucking happened. So I'm like, nope. I'm gonna sit in the living room and tell them all to be quiet.
I kind of, yeah. Obviously not ideal. I will say that's a constructive learning experience that I feel every child has to have at some point.
Yeah.
You can't always be shielded from it.
No.
Hopefully she'll take that and directly transfer it to fire too.
Yes.
Because I learned on fire.
Yes.
I picked up a coal.
Yes.
And because it was solid black.
Yes.
But it had been in the fire for 45 minutes. So I burned the ever-loving fuck out of myself as
Yeah.
a kid to learn.
Your brain told you it was cold because it wasn't.
It wasn't glowing red.
Yeah.
It wasn't hot. I didn't know that shit that wasn't red could be hot.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I mean, no, I don't try to shield them from anything. Like they, you know, when they ride their bikes outside, because our driveway's kind of like a ramp, you know that. So when they ride them outside, they start up at the garage door, and then, or when they do their scooters, they start up at the garage door and they just lift their feet and they fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
And they go down to the road. Regina's fallen plenty of times. I'm not like, no, you can't do it again. I'm like, okay, is it bleeding? You're fine. Fucking get back out there. Like,
dude, my niece is so. I have two of them.
Yeah.
Now. One of my nieces. Just thinking about it along the lines of the children's reaction to injuries. Ugh.
that?
She's such a baby.
Yeah,
man.
that.
She's
Okay.
such a.
How old is she?
Well, she's getting slightly better now. I think she's approaching. It's terrible that I'm not certain. I think she's approaching 5.
Well, you're not
I think
even.
she's 5 in now.
You're not even certain about your own age, so.
Yeah, it is true. I do have to do the math every time. I turned 26. I know that because it was like 3 days ago. Give me a month, and then I'll have no question. Or I'll have no idea.
Your birthday was 3 days ago?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the Burger King thing reminded me. Twice, actually. I forgot while I was working. And then it told me again when I signed out. It's like, oh yeah, thanks. You will be probably one of 3 things to say happy birthday to me today, and I don't give a fuck.
What the fuck, man? You didn't even tell me. 3
Yeah,
days?
sorry about that.
Goddamn.
I just forgot. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter at this point.
I didn't do anything on my birthday either, but that's not the point.
I portered. The day that I portered was my birthday.
You fucking turned 26 and I didn't even know.
Mhm.
What the hell? Well, happy birthday, like goddamn.
Thanks very much.
Fucking A. The hell, man?
Yeah, I didn't realize. I forgot. That is how little significance it tends.
Well,
to
there you
have.
go. Take that as a birthday gift and just keep it between you and I.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
God damn, man. Fucking.
Just didn't bring it up.
You have a birthday.
I was here too.
You don't fucking say anything.
That was the day that I fell asleep here.
What the fuck, dude? Unbelievable. What's the date today?
I think it's the 11th, isn't it? Or is it the 12th?
It's Tuesday, right?
It's the 11th.
It's the 11th.
Yeah, it was Saturday. The day I portered and came back here, fell asleep. Was my-
October 8th?
Yep. The day I didn't fucking sleep. I went full on. I went straight through from midnight to.
I'll actually, now I'm not going to forget that because Taylor's birthday is July 8th, and mine is August 8th. So anything on the 8th, I never forget.
You got a bunch of 8s.
Yep.
Nice. I will be expecting my present next year then.
Oh, you're not going to get anything. The point is, I won't forget.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood the purpose of that interaction.
I won't forget that it's your birthday next time. You're not gonna get anything special.
This was very special. This isn't appreciated.
You're like, hey, you're 27. Now get out of my house.
Yeah, seriously. You sound like my mom.
Is that what she said?
No, that was a personal joke. I pay rent and shit, so it is what it is.
Did they wish you happy birthday?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they were the other two.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Burger King and yeah, no, gotcha. Fair enough.
I actually, believe it or not, I forgot that it was mine too, because I think I was either. No, I wasn't, because I had already stepped away from that job at that point. But the kids went to school, and I had actually forgotten that it was my birthday until my dad and my stepmom both sent me the happy birthday text. Like, oh fuck, yep, it's my birthday today. Like, I had forgotten too.
It's amazing.
I don't really care anymore. Like, the birthdays that mean to me are the kids.
Yeah.
I don't care about mine anymore.
Fuck, man, you got those. Like, goddamn, I'm amazed I remember anyone's at this point. Like, if mine doesn't matter, and then the best I've got is like, I know my sister's.
Yeah.
I think. I know my mom's for sure. That's it. That's all I got.
I want to say my sister's is the 5th of April. I might be wrong.
October 26th for my sister, I believe, or it's the 25th, and the 3rd of October for my mother. Excuse me.
Yep.
Yeah, I will never be good at committing that kind of shit to memory. Hey, you need my last 3 Wi-Fi passwords? I got
Right?
them. I got them. Without shit.
The 3 that don't work anymore, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, they're great passwords if I ever need like a really secure site.
Right.
It's just a random fucking 16 number / letter long combination.
And you remember all 3 of them?
Yeah.
God damn.
Mhm.
Hey, quit licking the couch.
I have no fucking idea why, and it's useless.
That's okay. I have so many numbers rolling around inside my head. Some of them that are very much valid, and others that aren't.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere from social security numbers, because I know all 6 in the house,
Mm-hmm.
birthdays, passwords, bank accounts, it's all in there. Credit cards,
Yeah. License numbers?
all of it. It's all jammed. I still remember my license number from when I lived in New Hampshire.
Yeah, fuck.
That was nearly 6 years ago. I still remember it.
I don't know. I think I would end up being similar in your position. Because I understand the breadth of, first of all, you got the kids. So
Yeah.
obviously you have to know their shit because somebody needs to know it.
Yeah.
And they're never going to remember it.
That's not true.
Not yet.
My mother handed me my card at 18, and I memorized it right then and there.
Well, but like then, right now, do you think any of these do you think Johnny could do it?
Yeah.
If he had
Regina
if he
could
had
too.
to just remember it?
Regina could too.
Pop
If
it
I
in
like,
your head?
if I like pinned it up on the wall right by his desk
Mhm.
and said every day you come home from school you read this number,
Oh yeah. Well,
he'd
that's
memorize
just-
it.
That's just hammering it in.
Yep.
After a while. Yeah.
My worry would be then they would go to school and be like, hey, my
Yeah,
social
and then
is
say, that's the problem. You got to get them to a point where they understand this is your life number.
Yeah.
Don't fucking tell people this.
You know what's really funny about that?
Typically, I mean,
We
there's
had,
interactions where you have to.
We had life skills in high school. It was actually the last year that they had it. When I was in 11th grade, 2004.
God.
We had we had semesters. So we had semesters. So like if some classes were 9 weeks apiece, 9 weeks, and that would take the whole semester.
Yeah, no,
So-
I'm familiar.
We had a life skills class that was a partial 9 weeks. That's the longest they would allow life skills was 9 weeks. But it was like how to write checks, how to balance a checkbook, how to do bank accounts, how to do your taxes. That's what life skills was. They literally taught that.
Yeah.
And in 2004, in my high school, that was the last year they had that.
I think
They got rid of it.
I think the biggest problem with something like that is that it needs to be adaptive.
Yeah.
Because all that shit that you mentioned, nobody does that now.
No.
Nobody writes checks. Nobody balances a checkbook. Not nobody, obviously, but most of the people, there's alternatives now.
Yeah.
And most of the people who still do that are people who took those classes, so they already know how to do it.
Yeah.
So that's why they do it.
But like my point is, it wasn't adaptive or adaptable because I took it, the 9 week course in 2004. I took it, and then it was
removed from my high school.
Well, yeah, they just decided it wasn't worth it because they didn't want to write a new curriculum.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wanted to keep up with shit. I assume that's around the point where the internet started to be an extraordinarily common thing, and online banking was more common than physical banking.
Like, one of the golden rules in that class, literally to the point where it was up on a fucking poster on the wall, like a warning, like, caution, walk in here, don't breathe because the air will kill you, that kind of thing. Literally, never give out your social security number up on a poster the moment you walk into the classroom. However, every time you fill out a job application, you go after a loan online, anything you do online, you fill out a job application, you go out for a loan, you sign up for a fucking subscription to something. What's your social? What's your social? What's your, like...
Subscriptions don't, I think, ask for your social.
Certain kinds.
All jobs do.
Yeah. All jobs do and all loans do.
I think it's everything to do with the government.
Yeah.
Everything in any way to do with the government. The job, you're paying taxes. The government needs to have your information for your taxes.
The thing that I find ironic about it, though, is it was hammered into our head. Never give out your number.
Well, that's a good instinct, though, because people will try to fuck with you. People will just call and give you an official sounding name and then ask for your social.
But then
that's useful.
But then you're going online and like, how do I know that this application I'm filling out is actually for this job? How do I know this loan that I'm going for is actually for that place?
That's what life skills would be now.
Yeah.
Learning because that's how most shit functions.
Learning how to identify scams. Yeah.
There's ways to do it, but you have to know what you're looking for, and frequently it will require you to dig deep if the people are good at designing websites.
Dude, like TikTok today, I saw a video on there of someone who has like 25 million followers. They've got that link tree thing where you click on it and it's multiple sites you can go to for all of their various shit.
Yeah.
Someone literally hijacked their link tree and then put it into their bio. But when you click on the link tree, it goes to a scam page where you're looking at all the same stuff, but every time you click on it, they're immediately taking your IP address and
they'll get information from you. I believe those are known as phishing scams.
Yes.
If they were getting them to pay or give information, then it's a phishing scam.
But like the person who's
spying on them, it's spyware.
The person who stole the link tree also stole their videos. And their profile pic, and their name, and everything else, and it just became them.
Yeah.
Like that's
and then they'll offer to sell the channel back eventually for a final little. It's like here, I'll just give you the one with all the followers for another 10 grand.
Like they got on, they reported it to TikTok. TikTok didn't do a damn thing.
Well, I mean, don't expect any of these services to have your back in a situation like that.
Yeah. And then they had to get on and make a video like, hey, this person is not me.
Yeah, well. Yeah,
but then how many are going to see that video of this person is not me? And how many people that see the video have already been fucked by that this is not me?
Yeah.
Like, I'm terrified about that. That's why, I love my store, and I really want my store to go and, get bigger. But I'm terrified of it at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it will become a thing. At some point, there's a good chance that it'll become a thing. It probably isn't going to be. I'll say this: I think it's just a modernization thing. I don't know that it would be any worse than somebody walking into a real store with a gun to steal money. It's going to be the same level of inconvenience. Might be harder to trace. Yeah. That's kind of the problem with the cyber crimes. I've watching all the shit that I've seen. The law enforcement technology. Yeah. We don't have cyber cops.
The only
to an extent, I don't know if that's a thing.
The only significant advantage that I have for anyone who actually pays attention to my stuff is that I do not have backup accounts. So if I get banned or I get disciplined, I put something up that shouldn't be up, so then they're like, hey, you can't post for X amount of days, you can't message for this amount of days. I don't do a backup account. I love social media, but I'm not addicted to the point where I have to have 2, 3, 4 backup accounts so that I can constantly go on should things go wrong. Yes, the store is becoming my career. The store is becoming my financial
growth. However, I'm not going to make another account to give people that access to my life. I won't. So then if they see someone else like me, if they see Captain Fuckwit _1, it ain't me. I don't do backup accounts. Not on YouTube, not on TikTok, not on Clapper, not on anything. So if they ever see that, if they ever see someone else that has my name with a significant difference in all of my shit, they're gonna know that's not me.
I find hacking such a funny, the degree to which you can get away with shit.
I know.
And like,
It's
and the
fucking
fact that it's
stupid.
so much of our technology has failed to keep up on the quote unquote good guys side, like crime versus non-crime.
Yeah.
You can really just like, I watched a goddamn story about an old woman who had something in her life was hacked, and it was a story about ransomware.
Yeah.
Like she needed to pay something. Somebody took control of one of her accounts for something important.
Yeah.
And then they made her pay to get it back. These motherfuckers explained the things that I took from that story. For one thing, they explained Bitcoin to a like 80-year-old Russian woman enough that she could pay it to them,
Yeah.
which is fucking wild.
Yeah.
And that like they were talking about like they wish that modern companies like Comcast or whatever had as efficient customer service support as these guys had.
Yeah.
Because they were like on the fucking ball, walking her through this shit. And it's funny, that's just their job. I mean, they're kind of, they're robbing her, but they're very official.
It's funny actually. NCIS had something like they literally had an episode about ransomware where like they send you an email and if you open the link, it takes over everything, and then it gives you a certain amount of time to pay, and if you don't, it wipes everything off of your computer. But everything your computer is linked to, so your phone, your computer, your security system, if it's linked to it, the ransomware will wipe all of it clean. It'll get rid of everything, like your bank accounts. If those are connected to your phone or they're gone. And it's like they did a whole episode on that of just how like it's impossible to hack through.
Well, it's an extremely complicated subject, and I no longer trust any crime shows to depict anything. I no longer trust. I recognize it as an effective dramatic depiction.
Yeah.
I do not believe that it is a reflection of reality in almost any way.
Well, yeah, dude, there are, I mean, come on. I love the show, but I've seen several of the shows where at certain points in the episode, I'm like, there's no fucking way. First of all, how did that thought pop into your head? And during the cutaway scene, when you weren't on camera anymore, what did you do to come to that conclusion? Because the build up to that conclusion, there was nothing there that would lead you there.
My bigger issue tends to come from shit like I'm thinking like, who the fuck is the dude in Law and Order? When I see police brutality and the police being the good guys while doing it, that's not good.
No.
That is a bad depiction. Police
Yes.
are people.
Yes.
They're not infallible, much as it would love to be something like that. I recognize that things like torture, like brutality, like beating people for questioning, threatening to shoot people, all that, great dramatic television.
Not reality.
Should not be reality.
No.
Should not be reality.
The only thing that I've seen on TV that I would recognize as reality is when someone gets caught counting cards in Vegas and they get brought to that black room in the back and they get their ass beat. That part probably does happen. And what they put on TV is probably watered down to what actually happens.
To be honest, I really don't know. Because you have to be... I think that realistically what would probably happen is you're going to be told very quickly, once it's clear that you're counting cards, that you need to leave.
Yeah.
And you will probably be given about 5 minutes to do that.
Yeah.
And then if you have not done that, then they will beat your ass. But I'm assuming for the sake of any paperwork, or for the sake of just their nice shoes, that they're not going to beat your ass first.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're going to be like, get out.
Yeah. Well, they'll probably issue you a warning get out, don't come back.
Or they can just stop you from playing, can't they? Can't they just lock you down from the gambling and be like, hey, go take your fucking stolen money and drink?
Well, no, what they do once they catch you is your face gets flagged. They've got recognition software that they put you into that system, and then the moment you come in and the eyes in the sky catch you, you get flagged, and then security surrounds you, and they're like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Gotcha.
They're very efficient, actually, believe it or not.
Well, I mean, their money's gotta flow. They don't want no fucking interruptions. Any risk of drama, any risk of interruption is not good. Yeah. Shit, man, I stayed in Vegas for a while. I did not go anywhere near that strip.
Right. Bellagio, Mirage, and MGM Grand, $750 million fucking organization. They're not going to let you go in there and fuck them.
Yep. Well, you're not even being an inconvenience at that point.
Hell no.
Well, you're not stopping a single person from spending money in here.
No.
Everyone who's in here already is going to dump their fucking wallets.
Pretty much.
And you're not interfering with that.
I had a friend of mine actually that watched that movie 21. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I have not.
It's a movie made very loosely based on a real life MIT college crew of kids who learned how to count cards and went to Vegas every weekend and they make 100, 200 grand in a weekend, and then they'd go back home and they'd do their MIT thing, and then they'd go back to Vegas and just like every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they ever really got caught. I think they had to stop, or they like graduated and stopped. I don't know why they stopped. But the book Beat the Dealer, that was actually written and published by a guy who heard about them, found them all, interviewed them, then he wrote the book. And then the movie was loosely based on the book. The point is, a friend of mine actually watched that movie and saw it as such a great opportunity that he bought the book on how to beat the dealer. He taught himself for like 6-7 months how to actually count cards. And then he went to Vegas like 3 times a year. He didn't do every weekend like they did. He went 3 times a year, so he was very unrecognizable.
Mm-hmm.
And he stayed very much under the radar. Like I think he said he'd go 80 grand and then he'd leave. And he wouldn't come back for several months.
Yeah.
So this motherfucker was 240 grand a year going to Vegas 3 times just to play just to fucking cheat at the gambling tables.
Well, what did he turn into 80,000? Because you got to go there with something, right? Like you got to put down money.
Yeah.
What did he go there with? I assume 80,000 is what he left with.
Yeah.
If you go with 50,000, you leave with 80,000, and you've won 30.
Well, no, I think the first time he went there with 5 grand.
Gotcha.
And then he turned it into 80. And then the next time he went, he took 10 of that 80, which is the maximum that you can bet at a table.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turned it into 80. And then he went back with 10. And that was like every fucking time he went. He went there with 10, he turned it into 80.
Fuck.
I don't know how long he did it, but he did it for a while.
Well, shit, man, if you can, you can.
I'm like,
that's a good way to make a living for a while.
Like, first of all, where was I?
Yeah, why the fuck didn't you tell me about this?
Right? Like, why didn't you include me? Because I would have definitely gone with you.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. Can I not get that out of the way? Now that I can download movies again, I'm gonna...
But that is a classic example of someone watching a movie loosely based on reality and thinking they can actually do it. Because that was actually their biggest fear about making that movie, is that people were going to watch it and then they were going to go to Vegas
and count cards.
But
listen,
statistically, people that had the time and the patience and the brain power to sit down at a table for 6 months and get a deck of cards and go and learn how to count is very unlikely. It's very, very unlikely.
yeah, and I mean, it's a thing. I imagine they dealt with it a little more after that movie, but not much more, and it wouldn't have lasted long.
No.
Most people aren't really thinking along those lines. And plus, there's also, for every story of that success, there's also stories of people getting their asses beaten in black rooms.
Yes.
So they sit there and they're like, do I think I'm smart enough compared compared to how likely is it that I'm going to leave with several broken bones and no money.
Right? Like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? What's the balance here? Is it worth it?
And then I can never come back.
Right?
Once I
Yeah,
get caught.
once you're caught, you're not allowed back.
Yep, so, oops.
Yeah.
Unless you go up to Sheldon Adelson and be like, my lord, please
help me.
welcome me back into thy domain.
I mean, I'd love to fucking talk to him again and see where he's at in life. Like, did he eventually get caught and have to stop? Did he just
Sheldon Adelson?
No, my friend, not
Okay,
Sheldon.
gotcha.
My friend that went 3 times a year. Like, this was, god damn, this was like 10 years ago. I don't know if he continued doing it.
He had both his legs broken and now he's a paraplegic.
Maybe, I don't. But
He's like, I did it for 5 years.
You know
I
what?
paid for my entire.
I was gonna say, you know what? He's a wealthy paraplegic, so so fuck it.
They let me keep my last 30 grand as a parting gift.
Right?
It paid for my medical bills. Shit, this is America. They better break your legs pretty gently for $30,000.
Because the weird part is, like, it's not illegal. So even if you turned it into a business, you take 240 grand, you subtract 30% for taxes. The rest of it's yours. Like, if you really want to do it, it's not illegal.
Well, but there also is no way to, like, they have the right to refuse you once you're discovered.
Yeah.
So it's really a time limit thing.
Yeah.
You could run through and get blacklisted, I assume, on every casino. I also think it wouldn't take all of them.
No.
I think once you got locked out of like 2, maximum 3, every casino would know not to let you get.
Well, once they put you into the system as blacklisted, it's kind of like law enforcement. If you go into one police station and you get put on their watch list, it goes national. It doesn't stay in that one area. It goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Depending on what list you're on.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Like I assume they might let you out easy with one of them, and then if you go in and you fuck up again, there's got to be a way that everyone knows. Like, don't let this person in.
Yeah.
They're in too much trouble.
Like, stop
it's like
them at
the
the door.
furry convention thing that I watched a weird video on the other day.
Oh, God.
I think there's an internet historian was the dude. There was some fucking con where furries goddamn destroyed a place. They fucking wrecked the hotel. They wrecked the convention center. There were adult diapers full of shit all over the place. Shit was broken, stolen, destroyed.
You know, listen.
What a fucking party.
Listen,
a bunch of fucking freaks.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan and supporter of the cliche "to each their own," but there's got to be a limit somewhere.
Well, that's not. I don't feel like that was representative. I feel like those were a bunch of fucking goddamn animals.
Well,
those ones
but
specifically. That doesn't represent the furry community.
Yeah, but let me give an example.
Ugh.
Let me give an example though to kind of like counteract that. There's a thing going on right now where children, like my age children, are identifying themselves as animals, as furries. So what the school did, or what the schools are doing, not here, thank the fuck Christ, but other places, they're putting litter boxes in the bathrooms. Dude. For the children that identify as cats.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you something right now.
That is to each their own.
That is a rumor spread by a politician as a point to how much people would believe. That was purposefully spread by somebody to fuck with people, basically.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
You don't
have to Google it. I know of the exact story because I saw that shit. And I thought there was no way. And there is no way.
But it
Somebody
wouldn't.
was just like saying something dumb.
It really wouldn't surprise me though. It's not that I fully believe it because I know it's not here. I've been to my kids' schools, but like places like California that are way too progressive for their own good, it wouldn't surprise me.
Dude, they're not gonna do that because they'd have to hire janitors to clean it up. They don't have the fucking budget to do that.
It wouldn't
Shit in
surprise
the fucking toilet, kid, and
Right.
meow while you're on it. I don't give a fuck.
Meow and bark while you're on the damn toilet like a fucking person. There has to be a limit. There's got to be a line drawn somewhere that you do not cross to the cliche of to each their own and live your own life and
there's got to be a line somewhere. There has to be.
I mean, there
Like
will be-
like tolerance. I'm a very tolerant person, but there's got to be a line in the sand somewhere.
Well, like, furries are not. I wasn't under the impression that furries were people who identified as animals. They just
Some of-
like to be treated
But
like it.
some of them do. Like outside of their
Adults,
costumes.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't really give a fuck what adults do or identify as.
Right.
I mean, as long as animals have names, so as long as you can give me a name, I will refer to you as such.
Yeah.
Uh,
But like again, to each their own. You listen. You want to dress up. You want to dress up as fucking anyone or anything. Do it. Don't go trash a hotel room because now.
well, again, that was the worst collection of people
Yeah.
ever. Basically, I get the impression from what I saw that it was just a bunch of people who had never been allowed to party.
Yeah.
And then they progressed into adulthood and developed all this weird shit. And then they had a party.
Yeah.
And they fucking destroyed everything that they.
But like
touched.
now that hotel is gonna be labeled like intolerant and shit because they're not gonna let people like that in the
hotel
building.
was applauded for their approach
Oh, thank God.
to that, and they were refused from every. But the thing is, it was so bad that like literally no one blamed them. Like around the point where they were like, we just catch people fucking in the hallways. We are cleaning up shit,
God damn.
and everyone on Earth was like, all right.
Like, all right,
You
yeah.
know
there's-
what?
there's
Yeah,
no-
fuck those furries.
Right, there's no defending that one.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. And then they were refused from every city, every hotel in the city after that.
There's always got to be either someone or a group of someones that ruins it for the rest of them.
Yeah,
Because now,
just
but
taking it way too.
but now, because
Why?
furries that see that area as the perfect place to hold a convention that aren't going to drink and fuck in the hallway are not going to be allowed there.
Yeah.
Like never
Generally.
again.
Well, don't bring the suit. That's what I would suggest. Go as a person.
Just go as a person.
I don't know. Is being a furry an inherently sexual thing?
Yes.
Inherently, immediately.
Yes.
Because like, there's no way to have like a furry con that doesn't develop into some kind of weird shit. Is there are there cons of people just walking around in their furry costumes and going like, "Hey, nice"?
I don't know. I have never been to one.
I really just don't know. Does
I-
that exist?
I've
Or
never
is
been to one.
Is it always sexual?
Probably.
I don't know. I'd have to Google.
That's gonna be a weird Google search. You let me know.
It's pretty average.
You let me know.
Believe it or not, it's pretty average.
You let me know what that
I'm just gonna
translates
switch
into.
around like one or two words.
I was invited to a furries convention once. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm all set. Thanks. Like, I have no desire to hump the leg of a dog or. I'm good.
Well, no, it's like a human in a dog's
Yes,
suit,
I know
so
that.
you still hump at normal level.
I know.
Range.
I know. But I don't need to be dressed up as an animal to have animal instincts.
Yeah, you know. But like, you don't have to. Just go to the furry convention as yourself. Just be like, I'm just having my mind blown right
It's
now.
like, I'm just here to see what the hell this is all about.
That would be such a culture piece to witness.
Yes.
Then just be like, wow. You
I will-
really do this.
like,
Did you make that?
Listen, I will say though, if these conventions are, if they are just regular shit, well, I mean, furry conventions can't be regular, but whatever they classify as regular. If they are just getting together to have a good time, listen to music like everybody else, then fine. If it is a sexual thing, then fine. But what a great way to not allow looks to get in the way. I mean, like, dissect it. You're dressed up as an animal, so you don't know what they look like.
Yeah.
You don't know how big they are under it, what they look like
Well,
under
you'll
it.
get proportions, but yeah, it's generally like.
Like, what a great way to take looks completely out of the equation.
Mhm.
So much of attraction and like who you want to sleep with and who you want to talk to is based on what they look like. What a great fucking way,
Just get a mask of a lizard.
right?
That's my
But
persona,
what
it's a
a
lizard.
great way though to take that out of the what a clever way to take it out of the equation.
Mm-hmm. Movies downloaded.
That's why Halloween works so well too.
The movie?
No,
Halloween.
Halloween.
Oh, the concept.
Yes.
The holiday. Okay,
That's why it
gotcha.
works so well. When people have Halloween parties, and the golden rule of a Halloween party is you do not remove your costume, no matter what.
Nice.
That is the golden rule of a Halloween costume. Or a Halloween party. You do not remove your costume.
I don't know. I thought all the golden ones were covered by that kid in that one fucking movie.
Which one?
There's that horror movie. God damn, I wish I could remember the name of it because it was a pretty bomb-ass movie. There was this kid. I think his name was Jack, but he wore a sack mask, and it was about the Halloween rules. And he killed everybody who violated a Halloween rule.
Oh, okay.
Like a woman put out her fucking jack-o'-lantern before the night was over, so he went in there and he slit her throat or something.
What the fuck?
He was a little like demon monster. He was only part of one of the stories. God, I have to look that up now.
That's insane.
That is honestly seems like a very entertaining movie to me.
All I wanted to do was go to bed.
Listen, you can go to bed. Just leave the fucking jack-o'-lantern lit and then let it burn out. You don't violate the rule.
How did we get here?
I don't know. I got lost somewhere in the middle of that.
How did our conversation get here? What the hell, man?
Alright, I googled Jack Halloween movie horror. Nope, not Halloween Jack. It's definitely not Halloween Jack.
Seriously, like the
What is that fucking oh, it's Trick or Treat. That's the
Yeah, I've
name.
seen that.
Trick or Treat.
Seriously, we started out talking about Baldur's Gate.
Yep.
And then simulation pods, and then what if life was actually a simulation, and then we went to fucking Vegas and counted cards, then we went to furries.
That little fucker.
How did we get here?
What a wild movie.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
What a wild movie that was.
Oh yeah. How do our conversations get to this point?
I don't know.
God damn. What the fuck, man?
It takes a windy path, it does.
It does. I don't think windy is the word. I think it's like zigzag.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp turns. There's not a lot.
You're gonna lose a wheel trying to keep up.
No, I'm fine. My wheels are used to the pressure.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright.
What time we got?
For what?
I can't see the time.
It's almost 2:30.
Gotcha.
It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to get socks and shoes on here in a second.
What you doing?
Bus stop.
Oh, yep. Fuck, man. I've been thinking about the D&D shit.
Yeah?
I really don't know whether to throw myself too heavily into it because I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to play.
Why is that?
I don't know what the future holds as of yet.
Fair enough.
Because if I go, I basically just can't play.
I thought you wouldn't go by yourself.
I don't think I'm going to, but I'm still weighing everything.
Fair enough. Yeah, but like again, like I know the last conversation we had, we were sitting here and we were making plans and all excited and shit, but like my reasoning for going was very one-dimensional to begin with.
Yeah.
Like I know, like I was running away from fucking responsibility and everything because I needed a mental and physical break in order to get over her. But what I'm realizing now is that I wouldn't have the mental break. I'd be constantly fucking worried about what was going on here. And that's a dangerous job to not be focused on, first of all.
Yeah.
This house is gonna go to hell in a handbasket if I leave. Because these kids seem to treat it like a substitute teacher. The moment I walk out of the house and she's in the bedroom sleeping, they don't fucking do anything that they're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get you. If I stay, they'll give me some decent hours eventually. I know it.
Yeah.
And I can play doing this. I'm going to have to figure out what days I've got off. It needs to be the weekend. If I can get one of the days off of the weekend every week.
I gotta figure out what my schedule's gonna be too. If any of these jobs I'm interviewing for, I actually take.
I just want to run a fucking game for somebody. My phone's off too. I can't even call Steve and be like, man, just let me do random shit.
I can.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not gonna do that to him right now. But it's a weekday. It's Tuesday.
So.
I want it to be on his day off.
No. You interrupt that fucker's life. That is.
I'll do it.
That is what you
I'll
do.
do it. This is about the time to do it too. It's fucking 11.
You
It's
interrupt that
11:27
motherfucker's
years.
life.
Another 30 minutes and he'll be at lunch.
There you go. You interrupt his lunch. He's not allowed to eat.
Mm-hmm. Nah, man, shove it in your face. Eat fast.
Now.
Nah, I just want to run something, man. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to get super invested in creating a bunch more shit for it if I'm not going to use it.
The one we were doing before?
Yeah, both, to be honest, any of them. I've got a couple of things for the Tiefling worked out as well. And that's quest shit that I could just throw together. I like ideas for what happens underground as well.
Yeah.
That stuff thrown around, and then the world where I can't tell you about any of it.
Yeah.
Because you're in it. You're in the other one too. We've gotten to a really bad point of communication about
Yes.
that.
Yes.
I should not tell you everything that happens.
No, you shouldn't.
I have not told you any of this new shit.
No.
Yet. I do want to expand the world though.
I think we could. I haven't heard from Zach since we stopped. But that doesn't mean I can't get a hold of him again. And I still have all of their numbers. We're all still grouped together. I could just shoot a text out and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. I really need my phone on.
You'll have it on when you get paid.
I know.
Did Janet tell you when you're supposed to be getting paid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Friday after this one.
Okay.
It's a long time.
A little bit. What about the fucking access points thing that she was talking about? The 9 hours you weren't on the clock. They had to pay you a specific way.
Oh, fuck, I don't know. Maybe it's in my email. I'll look at it.
She said it going something like to fucking CVS or something to cash it because then it'd be free. I have no idea. I asked her to explain it to you because I don't know what the hell it is.
I'll ask her about it whenever I see her again, when they call me in.
Like the 9 hours I wasn't on the clock, how am I? Because you should have been paid for those already.
I was assuming they'd be put on next, but yeah, if that's the case, then I need to make sure.
Yeah.
I'm good, because the 9 hours would be like $100.
Mm-hmm.
That'll pay for the weed.
Yeah, it would.
Pay back for that, and then oops.
Right?
Well, I guess I let that slip.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, pay for that. Just get it out.
Dude, I've smoked on camera and put it on YouTube. They don't care.
Yeah.
I
I have no idea what the source of that anxiety is. I'm sure it'll go away eventually.
Yeah. You know, that wasn't the language I was telling you to avoid.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The one you were worried about before.
I think I've avoided that pretty effectively.
You have. But it was the one you were worried about prior that you wanted.
I was about to completely blow it. I feel like, oh man, I almost just fuck-faced myself, to use a colloquialism from my favorite podcast. I almost just fuck-faced myself there.
Oh man, that's funny.
I was very much about to give away.
You're just like, oh yeah, this one?
No, I wasn't gonna just blurt it out, but I had a very funny little line that I'm not actually gonna say.
Yeah, don't.
Yep, because it'd be too obvious.
Yeah, don't do that. But yeah, we are at 1 hour and 9 minutes. Yeah, so I'm gonna stop this.
Alrighty.